Good Guy Griffer here, and today I thought with Echo coming out in a few days that it would be very helpful for me to talk about her impact on the meta, with who will be the next top tier characters for this meta. Before I talk about heroes, I wanted to discuss the revival of Dive. With Echo's kit providing enough burst damage and mobility, I believe that she will revive the Dive meta, and we will see a new age of Dive led by Echo. My list of top tier picks will reflect this shift towards Dive comp, with both Dive characters and anti-Dive characters being featured with many of the current Deathball heroes not being seen. Let's start at S tier, and to no one's surprise, we have Echo. Like I just said, I believe Echo has the potential to completely define the meta and pace of the game. Her kit has strengths in everywhere that is important for Dive and brings a lot more flexibility in dealing with anti-Dive threats than there previously was. As during fights, she can easily transform into one of the area control characters such as Tobey and farm up his ult and deny the space that the enemy team need. This with her insane burst from her sticky bombs and the incredible reliability of her beam, she will dominate the game and solo carry. Next in S tier is Mercy. Echo has come in and completely replaced Pharah in terms of Mercy pocketing, and now anytime you are running an Echo, which should be all the time, Mercy starts to see her impact start to increase again. Mercy is one of the two supports that can keep up with a Dive comp, with her Guardian Angel ability providing her with massive mid-fight mobility to avoid damage. On top of this, there is an interaction where Echo can copy the opposing team's Mercy and provide a Resurrect and get Guardian Angel. The ability to resurrect your friendly Mercy after she is picked and then aggressively fly into the enemy team's backline seems like it could be one of Echo's strongest options for her ult. And this interaction alone can swing fights. But in general, Echo provides a strong pocket tool for Mercy to keep up in fights to survive. On to the next DPS character, Tracer. Tracer was the heart and soul of previous Dive comps, and we only saw Dive disappear when Brig was first introduced, and she could one-shot Tracer. But with Dive coming back, we will surely see her pick rate in the highest tiers skyrocket, as picks such as McCree and Hanzo, which have dominated high elo play, start to get dove and shut down. The final hero in S tier is Diva. Diva has always been a very reliable choice for any comp, but has always looked the best in Dive, as with her ability to negate damage and dive targets, this has made her the optimal pick for an off-tank. She already was an S tier pick due to her versatility and lack of counters, but with Dive back, she looks to be stronger than ever. Okay, so that was the S tier characters that you will likely see in almost all of your games from now on. Now, to move on to A tier, where we will see more Dive characters as well as good options to attempt to shut them down. Continuing with Dive heroes, we have Winston in A tier. There isn't much to say about him, other than most of his weakest matchups will suffer dearly from Echo being added. Characters like Doom and Reaper really struggle to do anything when heroes such as Tracer and Echo just outmaneuver and kill them easily. The reason he isn't in S tier is that he can struggle against some of the Dive counter characters that we will see later, and will often be exploited. But, if you are struggling to find success in Winston, you always have Hammond to fall back onto. He has more mobility and survivability than Winston, but when engaging team fights, it may be a bit harder without a bubble to block healing and key abilities to engage a fight. The next character in A tier is Lucia. Lucia's ability to sort of do his own thing with Wall Ride while still healing up his team passively and speeding in and out makes him the other best support to run alongside an Echo and Mercy. On top of this, Lucia's peel is one of the best options in counter dive comps, as whipping away their dive tanks from your team can often save lives. He can also duel and quite often win fights against other DPS options, making him a very solid choice. Finally, onto the anti-dive characters. In A tier, we have Tobey. Torb has very recently seen a massive spike in play rate, and currently holds the highest win percentage out of all the heroes in the past 3 months. His survivability, area control, and sustained damage has made him my personal go-to character for competitive play. Many of the dive characters can't actually kill his turret without committing some sort of dive, which slows down the pace of the game. On top of this, Overload provides Torb with an extra 100 armor, making him impossible to solo dive as a tank or flanker. And my prediction is that we will see a massive rise in Tourbillon players as dive increases in popularity. The final character in A tier is Roadhog. Road is practically the tank version of Torbjorn, with massive survivability and high damage output. He looks to be one of the best characters to just sort of stand in front of a dive comp and deny them the space they need to win fights. On top of this, his main use is to actually shut down echoes. While floating in the sky, she has an incredibly easy flight path to the Brick, and if she doesn't respect the Hog's Hook, he will send her right back to the respawn room. Now, onto the 3 comps that I see being the go-to for the next meta. First, we have New Dive. New Dive consists of an Echo, Tracer, Winston, Diva, Mercy, and Lucia. And it's just the next generation of Dive. Now, onto Counter Dive. Counter Dive will often consist of a Torbjorn, Echo or Tracer, Roadhog, Hammond, Lucio, and Mercy. And then we have Counter Dive, which would consist of a McCree, Echo or May, Ryan, Diva, Ana, and a Lucio. We have a rock, paper, scissors effect going on here, where one comp is good against one, but weaker against another. However, I do believe that this new era of Dive will not be shut down as easily by Counter Dive, but instead, Counter Dive will be equally as good as a comp against New Dive. So, in general, New Dive will be the bread and butter of the competitive scene, with Anti-Dive being run by teams that can't pull off this new version of Dive. But anyway, that was my take on what will be the new meta. I'll probably do some form of tier list when Echo is released. But anyway, if you watched till now, why not leave a like and subscribe? Till next, see you then.
My phone lights up, but it's never you.